Hey everybody, what is up? Mark here. So this week's episode is a bonus episode that we pulled from our Patreon feed. Thank you all to everyone who continues to support us financially on Patreon. We appreciate it greatly. It's a super weird time, and economically speaking and socially speaking, it's a fucking shit show. So we are so just beyond words grateful to everyone that is still able to support us. Because of that, we are able to set up our remote recording. The guys and I are in the middle of recording next week's episode, so that will be out next week. Look for that. It's a little weird not being able to actually be with them in person and, see eye contact and body language and crushing beers and just, what we have always done for years now together. But we're working through it, and you know what? It's just the way that it has to be for now, and it's no big deal. It's better to stay safe, better to stay healthy. Quarantine, stay in your homes, do what you got to do, help pass the time, whatever you got going on, do it. And you know what? We're just going to ride this shit out together. And, hopefully in the near future here, things will be going back to normal. And, everything will be good. So I hope everyone is doing great out there. DM us, hit us up on the socials, the Instas, the Twitters, whatever you got. Get a hold of us. Let us know how you're doing. And without further ado, Christopher, cue that creepy music. Hello and welcome to the Kryptonaut Podcast Patreon edition. I am Mark Storrs, and with me as always is... Whoa.
Oh my God.
Play that backwards. I might have said something. I don't know.
You might have. I would love to hear that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I hope it's something glad, something glorious.
God. What if it's something dirty and horrible?
Oh, well, editing.
Yes, indeed.
And you are.
You might not hear this.
And you are.
I am Rob motherfucking Morphy.
Thank y'all so very much for your Patreon contributions. We appreciate it.
This is where we can relax and be ourselves. Not the calm, peaceable, level-headed, sage, and delicate speakers that we usually are. This is where we can cut the fuck loose.
Yeah.
Kick off the slippers. And get fucking busy with some fucking cryptids and whatnot.
Are we like loosening our sweatpants? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. No, I've untied the strings, know.
I don't even have pants on.
Oh, no.
No, actually, you have pajama pants
Balls
on.
are free.
Pants
your
free.
balls are free?
Yeah.
In 93.
Nice. And again, as we say all the time, thank you all so very much for your contributions. It
You're the fucking
means
best.
a lot. And
it helps so much.
Because of the money, we're getting our studio.
Yes.
It's happening.
In March, which is fucking super dope. We're super excited about that. And because of the studio, we're going to be able to finally do videos. We've taunted this for months.
I know.
We've just been teasing everybody.
Yeah.
We have been.
But the reason we're getting the new studio is now we have the room to do the videos.
We are too pretty not to be seen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's debatable.
No, I live in a world of deep delusion, but that's not relevant. I still stand by that statement.
All right, fine.
So pretty, you guys are going to love our videos twice as much.
There you go. So, there's nothing to really push. That's all it's there. This week, for this Patreon episode, we're talking about the Gargoyles of Chile.
We are indeed.
Now, when I read this at first, it
In
said
Chile?
Gargoyles of Chile.
Yes.
No, like the food. Like gargoyles in
like
Chile?
the nation.
Oh.
But you know what? If there was like gargoyles that were stalking around like chili cook-offs, that would be the shit.
Well, the email that you sent says Chile Gargoyles.
See?
Oh, no,
Chili Gargoyles.
I had like this was
Gargoyles.
an article I wrote, I think, for Mysterious Universe. I don't know, maybe 10, 12 years ago, something like that. And so I love this case. It's a really fun thing. But I think at one point I called them like the demon dogs of Chile, the Chile but they were seen as gargoyles by the eyewitnesses, and I love the word gargoyles. I was desperately sad when I was a fucking kid. Of course, we all remember the movie Gargoyles.
Yeah.
Totally,
The greatest made-for-TV horror film ever, hands fucking down.
And the cartoon.
That thing comes up over the fucking end of the bed and tries to get that girl.
Yeah.
It's like what nightmares are made of. So When I found out that they weren't based on real legends, but they were simply like sculptures in medieval Europe that were used for drainage and to scare, like the whole idea of that whole Pazuzu idea in The Exorcist of evil scares evil.
Yeah.
I was kind of heartsick because I wanted them to be like werewolves of yore or vampires. I wanted them to be real things. But as it turns out, perhaps these sculptures might have been based on bona fide long-distance sightings of crazy fucking animals.
Sure.
Probably not.
Gargoyles.
But in Chile, there might be gargoyles.
So you did not get your Radong Chong moment? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, my God. Fucking Tales from the Dark Side.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that always pissed me off. That dude who was the villain in 48 Hours, I don't know much about who he is as an actor, but all that fucking gargoyle said was, don't ever say you fucking saw me and you're good. And so he falls in love with a beautiful girl, has a child, becomes a successful artist, and then finally he's like, you know, baby, I love you so much. I just have to tell you the one secret I have. And it's like, don't you understand irony, fuckface? Don't do it. You had the world by the balls, and then the fucking skin goes off, and it's like Radong Gargs.
Dude, you had Radong Chong, now you got Raid Gargoyles.
From Commando
to
fucking, what was it, Quest for Fire?
Yeah.
Who does not have, if you were at least sentient in the 80s, a crush on Radong Chong?
I still do.
Oh.
She's amazing.
She
for her.
is. And a fine performer as well.
Yes, exactly.
But don't
right.
lie to a gargoyle.
No, don't. Robert, let's get started with the deep shadow-shrouded jungles of South America are rife with carnivorous predators that are rarely seen by the human eye, at least not until it's too late. Mm-hmm. But as intimidating as the flesh-eating critters that are lurking in the dense rainforests of this mysterious continent may be, the arid plains of northern Chile are said to harbor a colony of inexplicable hovering beasts which eyewitnesses claim are living, breathing gargoyles.
Does it get any better than that?
No,
I submit. Gargoyles.
Gargoyles.
Look at them gargoyles over there.
Gargoyle.
All right, so Robert, let's get started here. We have gargoyles located in Chile. Not Chili's, the restaurant, but Chile.
Or the food.
No.
Or the food.
Yes. So,
Not cold.
Not cold.
Jesus Christ.
It literally took me a second. He said it, I repeated it, and then I got it. I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
Sometimes you got to repeat it.
I'm dumb. Patreon Mark's even dumber than usual. Robert, let's do this.
Situated in the northernmost portion of Chile, less than 12 miles away from the port city of Arica, are a sprawling swath of red sand deserts known as the Pampa Acha. The only thing that hints at the existence of humanity in this desolate stretch of savanna is the Pan-American Highway, which twists through this barren wasteland like an asphalt serpent. Thank you, Jim Morrison. That was my tribute there.
Nice.
Yo, you are the Lizard King. You can and will do anything.
I can do most things if I care to.
That's
how I limit it. I'm more like the Archduke Lizard.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It was on this lonesome stretch of road that in July of 2004, Carlos Abet de la Torre, an army sub-officer with the Cazadores Regiment, his wife Teresa, their 3 children, and a toddler-aged nephew would have a harrowing encounter with a group of fantastic creatures which seemed to jump straight out of the pages of a medieval bestiary.
Oh, this is like our second reference to the medieval bestiary.
You know what? I didn't realize that, and I think it's a bestiary, but you can call it a
bestiary.
Yeah, I don't know if you could read. Maybe you'd say it the right way.
Bestiary.
I think we're gonna just have to agree that you're wrong.
Fine.
Yeah.
Continue with gargoyles.
It should be a bestiary. But that having been said, I must have written this line years ago, and then I readopted it for the Cuyahoga Dragon or whatever it was.
Is this your new nestled?
The bestiary? Is that my new nestled?
Could be.
Oh,
Good.
Nestled in the
I try
bestiary.
to switch it up with located,
Okay.
snuggled,
Snuggled.
Fug-duggled.
I don't know if you
Yeah.
say snuggled.
Fug-duggled in the Appalachian Mountains.
Oh, spooned.
Oh, spooned. That's good.
Yeah,
Oh, all right.
Retrofitted.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Sexually retrofitted.
I wonder if we can get to the point where we just like substitute fucking phrases and everyone just goes with it.
We'll see.
Boy, we are really fucking getting off the path here.
Let's do it.
Let's straighten the arrow.
Let's get back. This is Patreon. It's a wild card.
I know. No one knows. And it's, of course, when we're at our drunkest. At approximately 7 p.m. on the day in question, the Torre family packed into Carlos's pickup truck and departed from their quarters in the Fuerte Bequidano, which is in the military community of Pozo Almonte, heading toward Arica to visit some relatives. And again, I'm going to apologize. I will fucking mutilate your language. That's just what I do.
Sorry.
That's just what happens. I'm sorry, Chile. Absolutely. Knowing full well that he was in for a long and monotonous drive with a car full of children, Carlos gamely threw the truck into gear and began motoring down the same highway he had traveled for over quarter a century. After roughly 2 hours had passed, Carlos was cruising at 65 miles per hour through the Pampa Acha, approximately 20 miles south of Arica. The road ahead was illuminated not only by the pickup's headlamps, but the bright moon that hovered above them in the cloudless sky. The stillness of the scene was almost haunting. That was until Carlos's eldest daughter, Carmen, noticed a pair of extraordinary entities through the back window of the vehicle. According to Carmen, she was astounded to see two creatures leisurely floating in the skies above, in her own words. I was traveling in the back seat with my brothers, talking, and suddenly everything went dark. Then I told my brother what I was seeing, and he told me to keep quiet because Mom gets nervous.
No, see?
Don't freak Mom out.
So you see a fucking, what we know will be a gargoyle, even though we haven't gotten there
But
yet.
they're leisurely floating. They're doing nothing
And I
crazy.
love that the brother is not like, I gotta worry. This is a fucking anomalous creature. We could be in danger. We're in the middle of nowhere. They're like, don't fucking tell Mom.
Don't tell Ma.
She gets anxious.
Yeah.
She gets the jitters.
Yeah.
When it comes to fucking weird
You're going
shit.
to make her buy the wrong milk. That's such a...
God damn you.
Jesus Christ. Really?
Oh, that's a wrong time.
Stupid.
That's like
Wrong
the,
time for that joke.
That is like the fucking. That is like the fucking deepest, fucking inside fucking baseball comment.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, don't.
I know.
Fucker.
It's too late.
Chris, a motherfucker. Oh, God damn it. It's the funniest, dumbest thing.
No one has any context for that at all except
Nope.
for us. And I barely have context for it.
Chris and I, just suffice to say, Chris and I nearly died.
Mm-hmm.
We nearly died. Our hearts almost gave out from the sheer exertion of laughter over one of the dumbest conversations we'd ever had.
Yeah, no, it was
you
terrible.
happened to be out vaping. It was so apocalyptically stupid that we caught ourselves in a fucking, like a snake eating its own tail vortex of fucking dumb, unstoppable laughter.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's one for the books right there.
And that's
boys.
it. And that's one to grow on.
There it is.
But don't worry, Mom. That's going to be a fucking problem.
All right.
Okay. Carmen kept quiet, but could not restrain herself from surreptitiously peeping out the window at these bizarre aerial abominations, claiming, "Later I looked through the window and saw one of the things that looked like birds, with dogs' heads and back-swept wings. My father said they were like gargoyles." Carmen later estimated that the strange airborne animals that flew over her father's pickup truck were at least 6 feet in length, though she admitted that at first she wasn't sure if the creatures had wings or legs, but that the appendages were definitely angled toward the rear of the creature. So it's a bright moonlit night. You're probably seeing most of these in silhouette. She wasn't
Yeah.
sure if it was weird, but then again, if they don't have fucking wings, what are they doing in the sky?
Yeah, I don't know.
But, Carmen,
Jetpacks.
she's trying to be legit. She's not, like, fabricating things she didn't say. I
Right.
like that she doesn't mind admitting, like, I don't know what the fuck.
Could have been a
Because-
flock
Yeah.
of Boba Fett. Just saying.
Yeah, it was probably
Flock of Fets.
Mandalorians.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Mandalorians. Yeah.
It just makes sense.
No,
They
well,
They were
really
giving me
does.
the old salute.
Oh, boy.
Chris hates it.
I do.
It's a little cheddary.
Heavy infantry.
was a lot of cheddar.
Mandalorian is my favorite.
Carmen and her brother exchanged uneasy glances as the outlandish entities seemed to pace their father's truck, but they were afraid to speak lest they panic their anxiety-prone mother. Their efforts proved fruitless as their mother, Teresa, who sat next to their father in the front seat, looked out the window and suddenly caught sight of the extraordinary avian anomalies through the windshield just moments later.
So now Mom knows, trips over.
Yep, trips over. Everyone's getting the wrong milk.
Ah, fuck.
From her vantage point, Teresa was afforded the least obstructed view of these things, which the press would quote her as saying resembled dog-faced kangaroos.
Okay.
She claimed that the gargoyles seemed to match the speed of the truck, occasionally slipping ahead, then falling back, but never traveling more than 60 feet from the moving vehicle. The Tory family later claimed that they were in such a state of shock that none of them dared to utter a word. That would be until the matriarch granted them permission, according to Carmen, and she said, "We were speechless for some 10 minutes, and my mom told us to react." And then we started discussing what we'd seen. Can you imagine that?
One, two,
Everything's
three.
quiet. Everyone's saying,
React!
react!
That's right.
Jesus Christ, what's that? What the fuck's going on? Ah! Fuck.
Three,
Stop reacting.
2, 1, react!
Dude, you should employ that as a parenting skill.
Dude, my kids have. Listen, I love my
Jesus
children
Christ.
more than anything, but this is the one thing about them. They have zero time for my bullshit. They got their own thing going on. They're like, Dad, we don't fucking care. Do whatever. I'm like, no, guys, react. And they're going to be like, make me. Like, fine.
That's true.
Oh, wait, if you
Go to
had
your
a
room.
pile of gargoyles over your fucking sweet
They
America
don't
truck,
give a shit.
they would care.
They would not. They'd be like,
Everyone cares about
they
gargoyles.
would say, Dad, you're making Mom nervous. Stop. Keep
Oh,
driving.
God. But what if their mom turned around and said, Chris,
React.
Don't get the wrong milk.
You don't get the wrong milk. And then react.
so they wouldn't give fucks.
Nah, they don't
They're
care.
really so embroiled in their own shit.
Dude, they're busy, dude. They got schoolwork. They got Switch, the Nintendo Switch. They got Liv and Maddie. They got Netflix. They got Hulu. They're wrapped up, man.
They are
they're
awesome
busy little
kids.
kids.
They're
doing art. They're
the
doing
hope
crafts.
for the future is what they
Yeah,
are.
exactly.
They really
ain't
are.
got time for
they ain't got time for our bullshit.
There's
I
no,
admire that.
No time for gargoyles.
Yeah, no
Wow.
time
There's a
for
rule
no
in my
time for
house.
goils.
Yeah,
No
exactly.
time for goyles. At this point, Carlos and the rest of his frightened brood were all stealing skyward glances and catching glimpses of these soaring evolutionary aberrations. He accelerated the truck, praying under his breath, terrified of the fate that might befall him and his family if these creatures decided to swoop down and attack their vehicle rather than hover above. Then it happened. Without warning, 4 of the canine-like creatures suddenly came to a landing directly in front of the truck, coming down on their strong hind limbs, which were shorter than their clawed upper legs. That's a little
Okay, weird.
tweak that's not usually in dogs.
Yeah.
Carlos barely managed to avert a collision with these over 6-foot-tall grounded gargoyles and increased the pickup speed, eventually leaving all 4 of the beasts behind.
He just,
So this is
he's
like
just
some
smoking
Great
the
Dane
bandit.
shit.
So
Yeah.
eventually
yeah,
they
no.
did see 4 legs
Yes.
and wings.
So I guess what we're looking at are like super mastiffs or something. Like, I'm not an expert on dogs at all, but a dog
Yeah.
that stands 6 feet
No, that's
is big.
I think that's bigger than a mastiff. Or yeah, it's much bigger than a mastiff.
So it's bigger than any dog.
Oh, a dog on all fours that's 6 foot is like a dire wolf that was like prehistoric. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure. Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously these things resemble dogs. They're not
Right.
necessarily canines biologically at all.
right.
Any more than, fucking a bat is a bird. Who the fuck knows? Just because it looks like something at a distance doesn't mean that it's what it is.
So these things land and he just jets past them.
Apparently. Thankfully, he managed to avoid a collision because
Yeah,
had he
good.
killed one even inadvertently, who knows? They might have fucking swarmed like Hitchcock's The Birds and with much better special effects because they're real and totally fucked that family up.
Or they would they would flee for their lives.
That's also a possibility. But I'd always be afraid of the alternative. That's one of the reasons why I would always be hesitant, except in a real life and death situation or if somebody I love was being threatened, to be the aggressor against something unknown. Because not only if you miss or if you only injure, but if for some reason this thing is much more powerful than you anticipate,
Yeah.
when you fuck up,
Yeah, that's
that
the
might
deal.
be the fucking, the straw that broke the proverbial camel's back.
But even if you
And it's
escape,
on.
you're going to be looking behind your fucking back all the
forever.
time. Like, well, is it after me? Was it even after me at all? I
Yeah.
think it is. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, was it arbitrary? Did I make it come after me now because it hates me
Yeah.
for my actions? I can't live like
It's
that.
going to steal my error in milk.
Jesus. The milk joke will not stop.
I know it's
No,
forever.
Oh my God, dude.
It's good. I
Gonna
appreciate
steal
it.
my
I wish I
1%.
It's literally in our DNA.
I wish I was there.
I almost had an asthma attack and died. I'm not even lying.
All right.
When the Torrey family safely arrived in Arica, they told their relatives about their bizarre sightings, but swore them to secrecy, concerned that the public ridicule that might follow the unveiling of their tale would somehow damage the military career of the family's patriarch. Totally reasonable.
Okay.
Although their sojourn with their family was enjoyable, the Torrey clan constantly thought about the creatures that had tracked them and had tried to block their path. Carlos was anxious about the trip home, and ain't that the fucking truth? Like you're in a happy family
yeah.
vacation. you see these things, they scare you. Now, if they just stayed up in the air and they're gone, you could maybe kind of put it out of your head or eventually go, they're fucking barn owls. I saw shit. I thought they were fucking sky dogs. They're barn owls, whatever the fuck you want. But when they land in the road, you almost hit them. They're fucking ginormous.
Yeah.
I can see where, like, your entire vacation is blown because you're like, I have to go that fucking way again. That would really be fucking disturbing. Later, Teresa confided, we were terrified to go back. But, much to the family's elation, the expedition back through Pampa Acha proved to be mercifully uneventful. But boy, I can imagine the stress they felt. Once back on base in Pozo Almonte, the Torre family honored their oath of silence, but when another sub-officer, Diego Riquelme, claimed to have had an encounter with an entirely different, though no less horrifying, dinosaur-like creature on the same stretch of road just 2 weeks later, Carlos began to wonder if he and his men and their families might be in very real danger from creatures that either ought not exist or should be long extinct.
On the same stretch of road.
Same stretch of road. Pampa Acha.
Interesting.
Is it a thin veil scenario?
I got my listen.
Is it time traveling?
I've got my theories.
All right.
No, I know exactly.
Hold
what
on.
they are.
Yeah.
Snuggle in.
Wait.
Take them to your bosom.
Okay.
All right.
Here.
Because we're gonna get there.
I'm gonna feed him. I'm gonna feed him tight.
Yeah. You do that. You do that right. It was then, for the safety of all involved, he decided to come clean. Others on the base came forward with their own strange observations of the area, and it wasn't long before the press ran with these bizarre stories and began churning out articles about the monsters seen on the Pan American Highway.
Oh.
Now it's a legendary stretch.
See?
Which we, by the way, I mean, I've always wanted to go to South America anyway. Let's fucking road trip there someday. If the Patreon ever gets good enough.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna drive to Chile?
We got to do the Pampa Ancha. No, we can fly to Chile, but I want to drive down the fucking gargoyle dinosaur stretch.
Yeah, all right. So we fly, then get an Uber and have them take us down the stretch.
Oh, can we even breathe there? What's the altitude? That's not. I mean, I know it's not Machu Picchu. That's in like
Denver,
Peru.
It's not Denver.
Don't even know.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Dude, I still don't know what's below Pennsylvania. You'd think I would have looked it up by now. I still don't fucking know.
The highest point on Earth is Denver, I think.
Everest, dude?
It's a mountain, doesn't count.
Oh my God. Yes, it does count.
Can't live there. You die at base camp.
You didn't say the highest point
die
you can
at base
live.
camp.
Yeah, you get to base camp and
I
you're
would
dead.
die like 6 miles below base camp. But
Yeah, probably.
dude, I just can't. I can't do this right now. Denver is not the highest point you can live on.
In my
Earth.
mind, where it is.
Wow.
Continue.
Fort Hill Cemetery is the highest point on Earth.
The parking garage.
The tallest structures in our hometown.
Yeah.
People freeze to death there
Yeah.
bi-weekly.
Any higher, you're in space immediately.
Yeah, because if you jump, then you're in space. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
We are the dumbest fucking people
Technically,
in the world.
you're off the Earth, so you're in space.
Oh, that's true.
Every time you jump.
Right now.
Oh my God, every time you skip,
No, we're sitting.
you're an astronaut.
We're sitting in Chris's high chairs. We're exploring the moon.
I still think of that when I'm walking on snow. I'm like, I'm off the Earth. I'm off the Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
I never
See?
thought like that.
There it is.
That's kind of brilliant.
Yeah.
Way to put your head in a new space.
Dumb.
No, we're dumb.
We're dumb.
But you know what we are? We're like baseline explorers. Like our adventures are so simple and fucking introspective and asinine that we delight in it.
New ways to think.
Yeah.
People are paying $5 a month for this.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Exactly. Let's pick
You know
back
what?
up
They
where we
deserve
left
better.
off.
But
no, they
you know
don't.
what?
They're fine. We're good.
If just one of our listeners walks on snow and is like, I'm heading
off.
to the moon,
Yeah.
man. I'm off
I
fucking
am
Earth.
so close to space.
Fuck your surly
feel it.
bonds.
All right.
Fuck you, Mother Earth. Well, I love you, Mother Earth, but fuck your surly bonds.
All right, so we're back here. We got gargoyles, we got dinosaurs, we got the Pan American Highway that we're not on yet. Highest point ever is Denver. Robert, continue.
Oof, God bless you. Soon after the story broke, Scott Corrales of the Institute of Hispanic Ufology translated the story for the English-speaking world. People began to speculate that the region may be the site of an interdimensional portal or a hotspot for UFOs and the odd entities that were stowed away aboard them.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that, Robert? Interdimensional what?
What's that?
Was that
Fuck
Christopher?
down.
Entities in portals
Portal.
with UFOs? Oh,
We're going to
wow.
get to your common explanation.
It's not common. It's probably
no,
the most
for you, it's
fucking out of
common.
the. Yeah, but because I'm out of the box and you are the
No,
box.
you're in the box.
No, I'm out of the box.
No,
You're
you're
in the
not.
box.
No, you're not.
How am I out of the box?
Because that's all you ever say. So you are the box.
You might be in the interdimensional portal box.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I kind of think you might.
Everybody else is talking about nuts and bolts bullshit and fucking creatures that don't exist. I'm saying they come from different planes of existence. Who's the real fucking rebel now?
You and Scott Corrales.
All right.
You and Scott Corrales. Are you happy?
Yeah.
You feel good?
Yeah.
I wonder why the Hispanic Ufology Institute got involved with something that didn't even remotely involve UFOs. God bless them for going outside of their purview.
Yeah, but I mean, it's in the whole wheelhouse of everything.
Yeah.
It is. Dude, it all crosses over.
The umbrella.
Yeah, the umbrella.
Listen,
yeah.
we happen to love it all, and we incorporate it into this pod and the things we write about and talk about and draw. But by and large, I think if you're studying in a field, most people, I think, stay focused on it.
They're going to get involved because they need the press.
Okay, fair enough.
There you go.
Fair enough.
And they're probably genuinely interested in it as well because they
of
they are
course.
researchers
No,
of fucking
If you like the
shit.
paranormal, listen, you're going to swim in the Bermuda Triangle. You're going to fucking look for a Bigfoot. We've done all of that shit. We've all
Sort
done all
of,
that,
yeah.
right?
I mean,
We've all looked for monsters
We have.
together.
Yeah, well,
We've
of
all
course.
gone on ghost hunts.
Yeah.
We've all gone on UFO hunts.
Okay, fine.
I swam in the Bermuda Triangle. I think you guys have probably at least been there.
Nope. Never.
I don't think
No,
maybe.
I was in Chichen Itza.
There you go.
There
So
it
you
is.
got, some ancient astronaut fucking
Yeah.
pedigree right there.
Yeah.
I was somewhere in Florida.
He was in Florida.
He was in Scottsdale.
He was fucking skunk aping it.
Scottsdale, Arizona. Christopher over here.
Wow.
No, there was
Thought it
like
was
Tampa.
Florida. All right, but even better. I was there too.
The odd entities that may or may not have stowed away on UFOs may include dog-like gargoyles of 6 feet in height.
Yeah.
And I guess dinosaurs.
Okay.
Cool.
Which is awesome. The usually open-minded Chilean press was quick to claim that the eyewitnesses were likely seeing nothing more than ostriches. Wow. Which must have escaped from a local breeder. The fact that ostriches are flightless and that none of the birds were reported missing in the area was conveniently ignored by the media.
Yeah, even I have to
no.
call shenanigans on
Now,
that one.
maybe if you want to say that there was bipedal dinosaurs and at a distance it was an ostrich running across the road, though the distinct white wing and black feathers and you would really have to not know what a fucking ostrich is to confuse it for anything else. But in no way, shape, or form could it represent what the Torre family saw.
No.
Yeah, I hope they weren't trying to explain that. I just
it
assumed they
didn't
were
say
trying to
specifically.
explain that
I hope,
second
I hope
one.
It was
Right.
the dinosaur.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
It also seems unlikely that 7 individual eyewitnesses would confuse ostriches for either on-the-wing gargoyles or prehistoric reptiles, regardless of how unbelievable the alternative may be. Nevertheless, the list of dog-headed, bat-winged, kangaroo-legged creatures that stand over 6 feet tall is not a large one. In fact, nothing like it should exist. Strangely enough, according to both Carlos and the Carabineros, the uniformed Chilean National Police Force and gendarme of the Cuba barracks in Fuerte Bequidano, there were no reports of strange creatures on that well-traveled highway until 2004. Does this suggest a migratory pattern for these beasts, or might we surmise that jungle deforestation or some other manner of encroachment has forced these critters out of the hiding and into the public eye? How else can we explain no sightings until 4 years into the 21st century?
Interdimensional portals.
All right, that's another way to explain it, yes.
I mean, I think portals are sort of on the nose, but you got to toss it in there. Or possibly.
I'm waiting for this.
I know we're all like,
I'm savoring every moment.
I wanted to give
or
the pause.
possibly.
Wanted to pause. If it is some sort of indigenous creature that is in the area, that is moving because of deforestation, that would mean a whole bunch of them are running out of the fucking deep dark jungles.
Well, I don't think they're the same. I think they're two different things.
No, the one dude saw a dinosaur when one family saw gargoyles. Like the total difference.
Or flying dog-like things.
Even if it was like llamas and emus, like you can figure it out.
It's still two different things.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Sure. So you're just saying it's a portal of different things.
I mean, it could be, but I
Or different portals.
I like Rob's idea of deforestation, that these things are just running. They're getting out of there. Their homes are being destroyed. Fly, gargoyles, fly!
Animals.
Land.
Wait,
Jesus
land-
Christ.
so they are
land-
gargoyles, and they're just deforestating gargoyles. So they're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, you know about the gargoyle eggs? They get their gargoyle eggs and they fly away.
They
They're
live in
babies.
caves. Number one.
They have eggs.
That's North American gargoyles.
Yeah,
How do you know it's not
Chilean.
South American?
I don't. I also know
You're just like, oh no, that's the desert cave dwelling variety.
That's the Arizona
as per the
version.
70s evidence.
Exactly. As played on ABC in 1978.
Oh, that's great.
So, all right, let me just finish this last paragraph here. Until one of the Chilean gargoyles is shot, captured, or convincingly caught on film, this mystery will endure. And if you ever find yourself traipsing around northern Chile at night, look to the skies, because you never know what you might see. So that having been said,
All right.
I'm super duper intrigued by the fact that new animals are discovered through deforestation, as tragic and horrible as it is. But also, many species are killed before they're found, which is thrice tragic. It's fucking horrible. I don't necessarily think that there was a fucking flock, I guess for lack of a better term, of gargoyle-y like things living in the treetops of some, paddock or whatever that got cut down for sugarcane, and then suddenly they're fucking on the Pampa Ampa fucking flying around.
Right.
But who knows? Oddly enough, though I poo-poo it, and you know how much I loathe, yet love, that magic whale, I do believe that there are places on Earth where the possibility of interdimensional exchange is more abundant than in other places.
And some people believe that it has to do with like ley lines or heavy deposits of quartz. Apparently, can cause this as well, because apparently there's a frequency or whatever that can vibrate, and then it can open up your whatever
chakras or fucking who knows.
I don't
what.
think chakras, but I think it's like apparently this heavy deposit of quartz can somehow uncover the veil to another dimension
what
or
you're
world.
saying, and I'll be the first to admit it. I want to be open-minded.
It sounds good,
but no, it doesn't.
But I don't understand
I roll
it.
my eyes and I'm thinking, oh my god, this is some fucking crazy crystal shit.
Arizona, Sedona crystal bullshit.
But on the other hand, if fucking say simple chemical pollution can tear a huge hole in the ozone, which thank God is mostly repaired, why can't in another? And I'm not even talking mystically. In a form of science that we just haven't grasped yet.
Yeah.
Why couldn't other things like maybe quartz crystals or heavy deposits of certain minerals or who the fuck knows what, man-made fucking pollution in this case, why couldn't it possibly do something to physics?
Right.
Modify some quantum thing that just allows things to come through. So it seems magical and fantastical and that you're getting monsters from another world, but really it's just as simple as the science of a ripped hazmat suit will let Ebola in.
Yeah.
A ripped fucking veil in reality will let a gargoyle through, but that just seems magical and asinine, but it's possible. I'm not saying that's my first go-to.
No, I don't.
I will not shut my mind completely to
I
it.
clearly don't understand how crystals work.
No, none of us do. We don't get any of this.
I have definitely read and watched enough documentaries that ley lines and big deposits of quartz apparently are an interdimensional hotspot. But Chris and I, visited a ley line for an interdimensional area many a year ago.
Indeed.
So maybe there's something there, maybe there isn't. We didn't fall into a portal or a dimension or whatever.
I mean, fucking.
So
there's truth to a lot of weird shit.
Yeah, there is. But
chakras.
There's always a little bit. Okay, so there's always a little bit of science behind that. So ley lines supposedly follow like magnetic things, right? So that gives quote unquote credence to that hypothesis of a ley line, because there is those magnetic fields.
Right.
So you put it kind of as a subset of this thing that we know.
Yep.
Right.
Totally.
Even though not really. You know what I mean? So there's
I
a
don't
science
know.
behind it, but you place it under the
can go
purview of
way
science.
Beyond
I'm not
what
sure
the evidence suggests.
The crystal's the same thing, but everything vibrates. But
Right.
I mean, quartz have some properties. That's why they use them in computer chips and shit.
Yeah.
So
if you
again,
even-
there's a science there, but then you just kind of place it in this other.
And maybe if you
saying that,
but maybe if you have 2 tons of quartz
I'm not saying-
crystals, maybe something happens.
I'm
I don't
not
know.
saying it's not.
Maybe a clown appears. Maybe it's killer clowns from outer space.
Maybe
it's
a
Sideshow
clown
Bob.
appears.
Chiodo Brothers.
Who knows? Maybe it's a sweet, delicious Japanese meal.
Wow.
Maybe it's not.
Noodles.
Yeah, it's noodles and steak.
Oh, dude, oh god.
Yeah, it's the best hibachi you've ever
Like some
done
fucking
experienced.
udon and
Yeah.
Shabu shabu. All right.
That's all possible.
No,
sure.
What Chris is saying is something I really firmly agree with, and I like the way he said it in that. And I guess I'm going to paraphrase, though I don't need to. That there are kernels of truth embedded in almost all of these phenomenon. What makes it the batshit crazy thing that makes rational people roll their eyes is when they take what is a possibility that is based on a tangible reality and extrapolate it to the nth degree, where all of a sudden it becomes this bona fide, irrefutable fact of like ley lines, create these magical things where this happens. Like, okay, just slow your fucking roll a little bit, because there might be something there, and you might be able to actually combine what your belief system is through intuition and esoteric studies to what a scientist can discover. Because if there's one thing that I fucking love about it being 2020 is that science is fucking getting there. Like LIDAR, where you can now do archaeology from outer space and fucking other places where you can peel away shit, where we can like home change our genetic codes, like on and on and on. Not only is this 2045 singularity fucking coming, I think it's fucking headlong rushing and might come here a decade early. So we're finally living in the future we were promised, not aesthetically, but actually functionally.
Yeah.
And I think this is a great time for really esoteric ideas and science to finally meet. But that means people like us who are, even though we have a scientific mindset in a lot of ways, but are definitely more on the weird side, we have to start fucking talking and introducing the more scientifically minded, rational people in a clear, fascinated way about why we're intrigued by this stuff, rather than turn them off with like blindsided belief and just crazy fucking Burning Man antics. Which, by the way, Burning Man looks awesome. I'm not dissing it. I just need to say we can't. It's not about posturing. It's really about emerging. And I really think in the next couple decades, we're going to see some really fascinating discoveries made by a blending of esoteric knowledge and actual scientific principles.
Totally.
I really, really do.
I do believe, and I'd have to look at I definitely saw. I remember Hellier talked about this, and there's been a couple other shows that talked about this, where there are certain spots with these giant quartz crystal deposits that they are known specifically for weird shit happening.
Does that have anything to do with like Ivan Sanderson's
I believe it might
terrible triangles. What the fuck were they called? Vile vortices.
Vile vortices, yes.
Terrible triangles.
It does sort of tie into that.
I always say the wrong thing.
But they also kind of extrapolate it out a little bit more, where they say, okay, here are all these weirder things that happened, and oh, look, here, like Ohio is in this big stretch, and there's a ton of fucking quartz crystals apparently underground.
And that is a batshit crazy place.
So maybe, but, as far as this esoteric magic, if you want to call it, goes, maybe there really is something to these large deposits of vibrating crystals for whatever, and then weird shit happens.
Right.
And if we can prove that, or that can be scientifically quantified in some way, then that's why we see weird shit.
It'll be a new branch of science.
Sort of how it happens, yeah.
I mean, the only reason things aren't is because there's geologists, there's chemists. Like if they don't find a reason to do it, if they're not looking, they know what it is.
Yeah.
So it's like they've moved beyond looking for a thing.
Absolutely.
Totally.
But even more insidiously, it's become taboo. And it's become taboo for a lot of reasons.
Well,
one, a lot of people are crackpots that believe in crazy shit, and they don't present it in a fucking palatable way.
Right.
And then it comes to a point where it really becomes like two different kinds of religions. The religion of belief in a universe of infinite possibilities, and a religion of scientific method. And they shouldn't be actually in contrast. But it gets to the point where I won't look at your shit because it's fucking dumb. We live in a concrete world where it's this, and this. And other people are like, I'm not going to live in your fucking cardboard cutout bullshit reality because I understand that the universe is much more expansive and wonderful. When in reality, it's really somewhere in between. Scientific principles exist for a reason, and science, I think, really will eventually, if we continue to evolve and we continue to be a sentient species and we don't destroy ourselves, we'll continue to unveil new mysteries that at one time, just like electricity was fucking magic from the sky, or a bolt thrown by Zeus, which is now what our whole society is based on, electricity, I think that a lot of things that were considered science fiction will, or not even science fiction, but fantastical, will be just science.
So are we all on the same page here with this?
Well, back to fucking the Gargoyles.
Yeah, I don't know.
We went way off base. I know, but that's all right. It's fucking Patreon.
No, I don't think they were gargoyles and
so
fucking T-Rexes or
what
fucking
do you
velociraptors.
think happened, Chris?
Oh, just skeptically
just misidentified
giant fucking bats and fucking escaped ostriches.
Can I give
California
Chris this?
condors, perhaps.
Let me talk about the Vampirum spectrum. I'm sorry.
The what?
Vampirum,
Okay.
The Vampirum spectrum.
Is this a new?
Also known.
Is this a new division of the shitty cable company Spectrum?
Yes, it is. It's completely
Gotcha.
No, it's a new James Bond
Jesus
villain.
Christ.
Bang bang.
Oh my god. It's so lame. We're so fucking lame. All right. Also known as the spectral or false vampire bat, it is native to both South and Central America. The spectral bat ranges from Mexico to central Brazil and Peru. It is not only the largest bat found in the New World, which obviously is our fucking hemisphere, but it is also the biggest carnivorous bat on the planet. With its elongated nose and 3-foot wingspan, it's not entirely unreasonable to deduce that the Torre family spied a small group of these animals and assumed the worst. Granted, the arid deserts of northern Chile are nothing like the prototypical habitat of the deciduous forest and swampy areas where bunches of up to 5 Vampirum spectrum rest in hollow trees near bodies of water, but it is not that unusual for small colonies of creatures to occasionally stray from their usual environment for a variety of reasons.
Okay.
So, as Chris
Not
said, giant bat,
unreasonable.
let's just throw the Vampirum spectrum out there, just for
Yeah.
shits and giggles.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm
Fair.
gonna toss out my California condor because those fuckers are enormous.
They are big, but
They are like the
they
biggest.
don't look like
fucking
dogs
bird
when they
ever.
land in front of your car.
You're scared. Mom's nervous. It's dark.
I don't think giant bats look like dogs either when they
No,
land in front
they
of your
really
car.
don't.
And a 3-foot wingspan is not a 6-foot
Yeah.
tall bat. So I don't think it's necessarily that, but we're going to give
Sure.
the devil his due.
But that's
All right.
that's their. They didn't measure it. They just
no, it's a speculation. You're right.
right.
Sure.
You're absolutely
All
right.
right. Yeah, no, I mean, possibly misidentified vampiric spectrum,
And it's
California
uncannily
condor.
like the Jersey Devil in some ways.
Yeah,
It's also
yeah,
not
yeah.
entirely
Little bit, yeah.
unlike original descriptions of a chupacabra. Not the Neo Chupacabra hairless blue dog bullshit.
Yeah, the one that nobody likes.
That's the fucking liar chupacabra.
Yeah, it
know.
is the it is the liar.
It is. It is.
But the original old school spiky backed reptilian kangaroo legged
Yeah.
fucking supra
Okay.
chupa.
Yeah.
So, Robert, do you think we are dealing with a misidentified creature and or quite possibly some creatures fleeing the destruction of their home, and or are we dealing with the interdimensionals? You got 3 options.
Wow.
Misidentification.
You didn't,
There's more than 3
you
probably.
didn't give me
but-
extraterrestrial.
No, you don't get that.
You didn't give me ultra-terrestrial.
No, we're
Really?
we're going to narrow it down.
Intraterrestrial.
We're going to narrow it down.
Meta-terrestrial.
Yeah, I forgot about that
meta.
one.
There you go. So, what do you think it is?
All right. I honestly think it's a cryptid.
Okay.
I think it's a cryptid
Cool.
in the sense that if it was a giant bat, I think they would have said, holy fuck, that's a huge bat. It's terrifying, but it's a bat. I really think it might be just an unknown species. Now, maybe a species of bat, by the way, because who's to say a certain species of bat, for whatever reason, easier to pick fruit, didn't grow longer legs, isn't slightly more expansive, might resemble a gargoyle at a distance. So I'm not ruling out the possibility. It certainly seems mammalian that it's a bat, but I do think it's a cryptid. I don't know if it's necessarily from ranging out of its normal abode because of deforestation, but maybe, who knows? But I do think it's a rare sighting of just an unusual, likely bat. As for the fucking dinosaurs, I don't know. Though I love the idea that dinosaurs are alive. Mokele Mbembe, fucking any number of things in Django Nini in Central Africa, or even Murray in Papua New Guinea. I mean, I just desperately want there to be dinosaurs on Earth still.
All right, yeah.
So I would
There you
like to
go.
think little tiny raptors are just cruising around the
Running
highways,
around.
but that's a whole other breed of fucking cat.
Cruising around
Right,
the
yeah,
highway.
just
It just
Fucking
might have
around.
been like super speedy
Just like shredding
monitors.
That could be.
tires. Yeah. All right.
Like the Jesus lizard that runs on its hind legs across water, and they call it
Yeah,
the Jesus
that's cool.
lizard because
Yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah.
sink. Maybe there's some land variation of it. It just looks like a dinosaur late at night when you're cruising down the fucking, Pan American Highway.
All right. Well, I mean, because this area has a streak of high strangeness, we got some gargoyles, we've got some
Dinos.
dinos, and some other assorted creatures and whatnot. I'm going to go ahead and say here that, boys, we are definitely dealing with the interdimensional highway.
What makes you think that?
Whether that goes to hell,
Definitely.
whether that goes to hell or space, we don't know. But that's why we go there,
I need to know why.
to find out.
Tell me why.
it's just kind of strange that in this one stretch of area that you have all this activity happening, and that makes me think that quite possibly maybe they are in fact sitting on some sort of ley line and or interdimensional hovering crystal technology that we don't understand yet.
I love that you just keep going.
You
That's
like
why
that?
I love it. I love picking your
like
brain.
that?
God bless you. It's adorable.
It's dude.
Yeah.
You know what it is up here? It's just all fucking. It's all these monkeys juggling bananas.
Oh, the Graysons live in your mind.
In my mind, dude, in my mind, they didn't die. Actually,
Never did.
Yeah.
No, actually, in my mind, the Joker shoots Batman.
Wow.
Yeah, you know why?
No.
It's dark.
Your mind is dark.
It's dark.
The Joker shoots Batman.
Yeah, that was actually a spoiler for a weird ending, but whatever.
Wow.
Might have to cut that out. Yeah, so anyway, in my mind, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, no.
Get into it.
No, it's a dark,
Oh, snap
crystal-filled
into it.
palace of interdimensional possibilities.
Fucking
And
totally,
in some
dude.
ways, I am really envious of you.
Yeah.
Good job.
Because my prosaic cryptid, the magical vibrations of interdimensional fucking flip toads from another
Yeah,
fucking world,
exactly.
man.
Oh,
Yeah.
the flip toes.
You know
Flip
what?
toads, yeah.
Just as legitimate.
Oh, hey,
Yeah, there you go.
in a perfect world.
Yeah.
Justice legitimate.
Just as
I know, I love
legitimate. Yeah, just as legitimate. Yeah. These are my opinions.
if only.
Respect them and share them with your loved
Not only
ones.
do I respect them, I love them, sir.
Thank
Yeah.
you all so very much. That is our take on the Chilean gargoyles.
And you know what? I'm really proud of us. We really stayed on topic.
Oh, a lot,
We were
definitely.
fucking. We were dead up.
We
razor on.
got there.
No, we
got back.
We
Well, all right,
eventually
so we
made
got
it.
big. We
We
got a little
snapped
lofty,
into it.
but
It
we
happens.
fucking narrowed the focus back down. You know, the laser, it's spread out. It's like Cyclops when he fucking takes off his glasses. Some
Oh,
things
yeah,
got
yeah,
burned.
Yeah.
A neighborhood got destroyed.
No, that's
Yeah.
the deal.
Eventually, we brought
Yeah.
it back down and got the job done.
I was always happy when he died, but that's just me.
Wow.
He's an ass.
Well, Scott was not the coolest.
I don't know. He was pretty cool in Whedon's run.
He was, but
Yeah.
for the most part, he's kind of like a stick in the mud.
Well, that was
That was
his
his deal, yeah.
that's why I
He's
didn't
like
him.
the opposite
Yeah.
of the fucking Logan.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, you mean the real team leader, Wolverine?
Fucking every
Yeah.
Japanese fucking cartoon is
not a
based on that.
good leader.
There's the noble
He's a good
straight arrow
No,
guy.
he's not
There's
at
the
all.
fucking
He's
hot
terrible.
girl that loves the straight arrow guy but has a secret thing for the rebel dark
That's the
one.
deal.
That's Jean Grey, fucking Logan, and,
Yeah.
and Scott Summer
Yeah.
all fucking together, man.
That's the deal.
There it is.
That's it. That's the perfect triangle. I don't know. Yeah, I know. Lights
Oh,
are flickering.
Chris's lights
the
flickered.
poltergeist is like, you guys are so far off subject. Fucking wrap it up.
Yeah.
Even the ghosts are tired of listening
Yeah,
to
they're
us.
fucking bored. You drunk fucks.
Thank you
End
all
this.
so very much for listening. Thank you all so very much also for your Patreon contributions. We appreciate every one of you out there. Be sure
So
to leave
much.
your comments in the Patreon comments below. Or, you know, if you want to go to Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever, hit us up there. So, we do have a code for the Patreon people where if at any point you want to get a percentage, I believe it's 20 or 30%. I'm not really sure. But if you want to get a code to get merch, just post it up. I can talk to TeePublic and get you a permanent whatever. I'm again 20. I think it's 20 to 30% off. I'm not.
Oh, that's
really
amazing.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Well, shit.
permanent?
Yeah, a permanent code.
What
yeah.
the
So you
fiddly
don't have
fudge?
to wait.
That's amazeballs.
Yeah, so if you want that, check that out. And again, hellerspace.com. There's some merch, so you can go check it out there. So there you have it. Thank you all for joining us for the Patreon, and we're talking to you soon.
Oh. Well, thanks for paying money for this.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus
Oh God,
Christ.
did we fuck them over?
No, they're
Oh, I
fine.
feel like we fucked really good people over.
Our
You spent their hard-earned
patrons,
money.
the people that
Thank
We
give
talked
you.
about fucking flying dogs and fucking dimensions.
the people that give money to our Patreon and support us are generally super fucking cool.
God bless them.
Yeah, because other people that don't are not into our shit. So
That's true.
No, it really is a lot of. You are really
No.
either into fucking some really crazy shit presented by some dumb motherfuckers, or you are not.
You weren't, yeah.
In
well,
which case, you have found the wrong pod, friends.
And thank you all for
Thank
your
you guys.
contributions.
You are honestly, you are the most amazing fucking thing ever. Thank you.
We'll be talking to you soon.
Keep watching the skies, fuckers.
Keep vibrating those crystals.
Oh my God.
man, you are just.
I know. I'm
This
tired.
ghost is going to be so mad at me.
This ghost is pissed.
He's mad at you.
Yeah, probably.